1025R John Deere subcompact tractor. It started to spring a leak right under the front axle. I didn't notice it until I had been cutting the grass for a while, and I'm going to get in close and show you what it looks like. Okay, we're down here under the front axle, or really bit behind the front axle, and you can see this hydraulic here. This is the power steering, and there's this elbow joint here. This is the hydraulic line, and this is where my leak was. When I turned the tractor on, and especially when I steer it a little bit, this thing, just leaks like a lot. So I kind of had to wipe everything away here. I was looking to see if it was leaking on top. It's pretty dirty. So after I wiped away all the dirt, it was pretty obvious it's coming from either this part of this elbow here or here. So from there I noticed that this was actually pretty loose. So I tightened that up, but started the tractor up and it was still leaking. So I'm not really a mechanic. I don't know what I'm doing, and I just figure things out as I go. So that's kind of why I'm making this video. I think a lot of y'all are probably like me. You just get by with what you can and you ask for help. And so after I had this issue, I actually asked around. I went on Facebook, and there's plenty of groups, John Deere enthusiasts and stuff, and they said right away that it's probably the O-ring, and many other people actually chimed in and said that they also had the same issue. So I went to the John Deere dealer, and I asked about these O-rings, and the guy at the counter was great, very helpful. He thought it'd probably be that too. The O-rings were very cheap. I bought one for both sides of that elbow, so I'll show you those here in a second. And they were about $1.25 a piece. And so we're going to put them on and see how it goes. I definitely don't know what I'm doing. Here are those O-rings. I got the part numbers there. If you want them, I'll put them in the description. You might be able to see here that one is slightly larger than the other. And like I said, they're very cheap, so I bought both, not knowing for sure which one's the problem. I'll just replace them both, and as long as it fixes it, then we're good. Alright, remember when I said I don't know what I'm doing? Well, I learned from the dealer. My suggestion would just be ask as many questions, pointed questions, as you can. And that's how I figured this out. If I take off this fitting, my thought was I'm going to drain all the transmission fluid. I did learn that the transmission and hydraulic fluid are all one system. So the transmission fluid, it feeds the hydraulics on this thing, so it's all one system there. And I'm thinking if I undo this fitting, it's all going to drain out, so I need to buy fluid and refill it after I'm done, or what's going to happen. And the dealer gave me a really easy answer. If you jack up the front of the tractor, he said it probably won't drain that much out. So I should be able to just prop this guy up and go from there and just see, if it drains a little bit, that's fine. I've got some extra that I can top it off, and we'll show that at the end. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to get this up under the front axle and jack it up. Of course, as you can see, I put jack stands under here. That's a good safety tip. And I'm leaving the jack under there too, so got triple coverage. I don't want the thing crushing me. Alright, so I got a 5/8 wrench, and I'm going to try to hold this steady while I'm doing this. I'm going to start with this one and just loosen it up, and we'll see if what the dealer told me about jacking it up is true, and hopefully this doesn't leak too much. Just remove this. It's pretty loose. So on second thought, I think removing this one first makes the most sense to get the line off of there, and then the other one should come pretty easily after that. You can see. Really simple. Alright, don't leak. Alright, so it's not gushing, that's good. Not even a drop, wow. And I will tell you that the transmission fluid's full right now, so that's good to see. Now let's hit this one. Should just come right out. You can already see there's the problem right there. Alright, it is coming out of there a little. No problem though. That O-ring is just smothered right there. Cool. Alright, let's see if I can do something about this. Maybe shove a rag in there. So, yeah, that's not perfect, but we'll be replacing the plug pretty soon, so that's fine. So this is the elbow we took out. You can see this is the one that was obviously bad. It was just split in half there. Pieces. This one actually looks okay, but like I said, I'm going to just replace them both. I have them both here. So let's go ahead and do that. See if I can just pick this out by hand, or... Yeah, there it comes. Easy. So that's the smaller one. Let's pull these out. Actually, let's give this a little wipe down. A little bit of crud in these threads. Okay. Let's do the big one first. I'd really not like to break this one. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, and then the smaller one in here. Did I do that wrong? Hold on. I might have done that wrong. No, that's the smaller one, right? Yeah. It just doesn't look like it would. Is that right? Yeah, it seems fine. It almost seemed like it was too big there for it, but I mean, it's the same size as this, so it's got to be right. Okay, cool. We're ready to try and just screw it back on and see how it goes. Alright, we're going to give this a shot. Pull this off of here. We want this end to go in first. Let's go ahead and get that in there to staunch the flow. There we go. And I'll kind of tighten that up here in a second. Actually, I think you would tighten it first. Let's see. Yeah, doesn't need to be too tight. And then this one rotates here, so this will just go on next. And this is a 11/16, I think. So we'll do the tightening by hand first. I'm gonna need 2 hands. All right, we're gonna give it a shot here. Before we go ahead and start it up and give it a try, back here on the back of the tractor is the transmission oil check here, dipstick. You can just pull it right out and take a peek, and I'm probably good. I know I dropped a little bit on the floor there, but should be good. If yours isn't, you can top it off. You just lift the seat, and that's it right here, this little guy. So just get a funnel and pour some in there. Now, this is the recommended stuff. Low viscosity high guard from John Deere. So I guess that's the recommended thing. All right, we're gonna give it a shot. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna start her up and look down here, and I'll even turn the wheel a little bit. And as long as I don't see a bunch of dripping, it's should be good to go. Perfect. All right, so that's it. I'm real happy with that. Easy task. Shout out to my friends on Facebook in the John Deere group. They really helped me a lot. There definitely was the option to take it to the dealer, but given how simple this was and what a cheap part it was, loading it up and waiting and just all that wouldn't have been worth it. So very much appreciate all the help. Thank you.